I really appreciate the dedication for staying all through as we discuss this whole concept around valuing diversity and how that diversity can actually be an opportunity as part of decolonizing methods. This whole conversation still goes on. We have already had some discussions. We have the next discussion will be in June, and this discussion will be sort of building onto some of the concluding remarks that we've already had when it comes to philosophical underpinnings of methods. And here we are talking about whether the different ontologies or the different ways we practice can actually be resourceful. Just to document so that we have sort of a basis for us to continue having this conversation, we also have a book project. We have already put out call for book chapters. And this would basically be something that we are building towards in case studies, just what we've spoken about, some theoretical practices, some kind of methods that have already been used in different contexts, and the implications of those kind of methods. We also do have summer school this year in August as part still of these conversations, and we'll be looking at building capabilities that can be able to challenge the dominant ideas. In this case, we are talking about people have not been able to articulate, for example, how we can broach these subjects when we're talking about collaborations. So how do we build capacity in that space to be able to actually actively continuing pursuing this agenda of decolonizing methodologies and decolonizing research that can contribute to transformation to sustainability. I'd like to invite Joanes, Atela, who is also the main convener of the Africa Research and Impact Network, to just give us some closing remarks as we go towards finishing this session today. Joanes, if you're ready.
Thank you, Joel, and thank you, everybody. I think mine would be just to say thank you for the time and for the timely and really very exciting discussions. I think this is where we need to be, and this is the kind of debate that basically we need to have in the global South. When I listen to some of the discussions and conversations around methodological domination, especially from the North, which is something we've been trying to struggle for quite some time. And of course, there has been a lot of concerns that there is no space for the South to inform the agenda, and as most of you have made it clear that the South needs to be on the table of the research. But the question is, how are we going to do that, which I think is still a critical one. And we did ask this question when we started the Decoloniality seminar series, that really are our systems, for instance, if you take Africa, are we in a position or are we ready to be able to receive decoloniality? If we say then, okay, we have a space to engage, or we have a platform to engage, because in a democratic society, everyone, and as Marina mentioned, said it rightly, that really decoloniality is not about removing or sort of excluding certain methodologies, even if they're from certain quarters, but it's a question of really appreciating that there is this diversity of methodologies that come into play, and how best can we then engage with them? How can we criticize them? How can we broaden them out in a way that really respond to the multiple challenges that we have as Africa? And I think this kind of discussion is what we need to have to answer that particular question. Because there's a lot of good things going on, for instance, in Africa, and of course in other parts of the global South, a lot of interesting experiences, a lot of great methodological experiences and sort of learnings. But certainly in terms of leadership, to be able to profile all this to a way that, from the global South, we can be organized to be able to engage the dialogue space in a more strategic way. I think that is what we've been lacking. And this has also been exacerbated by the fact that the African research space has been preoccupied by a lot of systemic things, a lot of systemic challenges, a lot of bureaucratic and traditional ways of thinking. And for a long time, I mean, in the era of the people like Alicia's Juma, where this space was being opened up, and then in between, we lost it somewhere. So we went back into fighting for budgets, fighting to look for money, fighting to be able to align ourselves, with the different opportunities, which is all fine because that's important. But I think we lost the leadership and the organizational space as the Global South to be able to engage in dialogue when it comes to research and scientific trajectories that really tackle the global challenges. So that particular leadership is what I think, if you talk about partnership, we are trying to bring back through this partnership with the STEP Center. And it is a journey which has come from far, because the STEP Center, I personally, for instance, I was, my first eye opener to the world of research and viewing things in different ways, actually opening up my mind to be able to see this trajectory, was actually inspired by the STEP's summer school and the STEP's engagement through a number of collaborative initiatives. So that is a model that is possible, that we are here, 10 years later, we are now trying to really allow and use some of those skills that have been developed from the North to be able to resuscitate the Global South in a way that we are really pursuing a platform for voices, a platform for solutions, a platform for really intellectual leadership and intellectual debate. And this is what, again, has been lacking in the continent. So I want just to say, this is very timely from where I sit, or where most of us young scholars sit, very useful, very strategic. And I would like just to urge us that we are going to continue profiling these particular platforms. It's starting with the decoloniality in terms of the STEPS methods here. And I think it's just the beginning of most of the conversations. We would like to be able to clearly articulate our position as Africa, as the Global South. We would like to clearly, using evidence, some of these contextual best practices, how can we profile them better in this particular context? And if that can be part of this decoloniality debate, then I think that would be very strategic. So allow me to say thank you, because time has gone. And yeah, thanks to everybody. Thanks to Joel for leading this process. Thanks to the STEP Center for always partnering with us and supporting us to be able to profile African voices. Thanks to the ARIN fellows who I've seen here engaging very actively in the process. And I do promise you that this is actually the start of a vision that all of us together and collectively, we are going to take forward. So thanks to everybody, and yeah, may God bless you. Thanks.